Hey Cubs, it's Cub Master Rich here, coming to you from my kitchen. I thought today we could do a little baking together. This is a really super simple recipe. We will be using the oven, so you'll need to have help of a grown-up while you're doing this. But it's a super simple thing that we can do and make and share with our family or friends or neighbors or anybody really. I have a special idea on who we're going to share it with today. But it's inspired by a campfire classic, s'mores, so it seems very Cub Scout friendly and appropriate. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, to make the base of our s'mores, we're going to make these as a cup. So I'm going to make the crust first. I'm starting off with a cup of crushed graham crackers. Now, I just took regular graham crackers. The way I did it is to put them in a Ziploc bag and then just roll away on them with a rolling pin. If you don't have a rolling pin at your house, you can use a can of soup or can of beans or any can. Also, if you have a food processor with an adult, that'll crumb these up really, really quickly. So 1 cup of ground up graham crackers. Make sure all that gets in there. 1/4 a cup of powdered sugar. And we're going to add 6 tablespoons of melted butter, and that melted butter will help everything come together. I've got my ingredients in there. I'm going to put my mixture together. And if you don't do a lot of baking, whenever you do powdered sugar, you want to start real slow, otherwise it comes out and it makes a big poof like a volcano. We don't want that. Okay, for this next step, I've got my crust all ready, and what I went ahead is I took some cooking spray and I sprayed it into each one of the tins. This is a mini muffin tin, so it's not like a regular sized cupcake. They're like half sized. So we can make 24 in one batch, which is what this recipe does. And like I said, I put a heaping spoonful, or one with a nice rounded top to it, in each one of these. And what I'm going to do is kind of press them down so that it's packed in a little bit, and you kind of want to have it coming up the sides. So I'm going to do that for each one of these. So you can see there's a little, kind of like a little well. We're basically making a graham cracker cookie cup that we can set a marshmallow in. So to get our s'mores idea. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of the rest of these. If I use 2 hands, I'll be a lot faster. Alright, Cubs, so I went ahead and I made my cups. As you can see, they're kind of dipped down a little bit in the middle and then raised up a little on the side. I've got my oven set to 350 degrees, and I'm going to bake these just for about 4 minutes so they get nice and golden crispy brown. Now, if you're a Webelos, maybe a bear, you might be able to do this oven part by yourself with just a little bit of supervision standing nearby. For our lions and tigers especially, I would say this is probably a great job for your adult partner. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my cookie crust, and let it sit for about 4 minutes. Alright, our timer just went off, so I'm going to take the cookies out of the oven. Whenever we take anything out, we want to make sure to use a hot pad or an oven mitt. I happen to have these really awesome Hulk smash oven mitts that a friend gave me, so I'm going to use these. Open the door and carefully pull out our cookie cups. You can see they're a nice golden brown. So what I'm going to do now is take some marshmallows, and I took regular, normal-sized marshmallows, not the little minis and not the giants, and I took them, but I cut them in half. And you can see there's a cut side that's a little rough, and then our normal smooth side. So what I'm going to do is put one in each cup, and I'm going to put the cut side down so that it stays looking a little nice. And I'm going to go ahead and do that for each one of these. Okay, so you can see I've got my marshmallows on top of each cup, 1/2 marshmallow on each cup. And what I'm going to do now is I've turned off the oven, the normal baking part of the oven, and I've turned on the broiler. For those of you who are fairly new to cooking, when we cook things in an oven, the heat comes up from the bottom, and we know that heat rises, right? That's a good science point for us. So the heat rises and helps cook things throughout the oven. In a broiler, we actually turn the bottom heat off, and we have a little heater part on top that'll come down. And I'm going to put these right below that, and that way it'll toast our marshmallows so they look all yummy and golden brown, just like when they come out of the campfire. Now again, this is really hot, so I'm using my oven mitt, and this is probably a good job for an adult partner because this is hot, and we don't want any cubs getting burnt. Now, the thing about using a broiler is that when you use the broiler, things go from cooked to burnt really, really quickly. So it says 1 to 2 minutes in the recipe, but really keep a good eye on it so that we make sure we don't burn anything. So like I mentioned, they go from hot to burnt real quick, so I'm pulling them out right at the last possible second because I don't want them too dark, but we want that yummy, yummy brown color that's on a good roasted marshmallow. And what I'm going to do now is take some Hershey's bars. I've broken up into little pieces, and I'm just going to stick one on top of each marshmallow, and the heat from the broiling marshmallow and the hot stuff underneath should help those melt really nicely in just a few moments. So I'm going to go ahead and finish those. Okay, so my s'mores cups are all done, and I have let them cool. It said to let them cool in about 15 to 20 minutes. Now what I'm going to do is go around the outside with a knife, and that will help pop those little guys right out. I'm doing this one-handed, so it's a little tricky. And we have our nice little s'mores cup. So I'm just going to set them aside so that I have lots that I can share. I have 24 of them here that I can share with whoever I'd like to share with. All right, so I finished our s'mores treats here, and I boxed them up as part of the 30 Days of Scouting Challenge. Nick, who did you make a card for?
The police.
The police department in our area, right, to thank them for all their hard work. So we thought what we'd do is, since we made these nice treats, we'll take these with the card, and we're going to drop them up at the Athens Police Department as a thank you for everything that those nice working or hard-working men and women are doing to keep us safe.
Hi, Nick. Thank you very much. Oh, well, thank you very much. We will definitely appreciate it. How have you been? Good.